Hey there, friendlies. How's up? I was watching the ad, the ad run in the on the other screen over here. So I timed the drum ending for when the ad stopped. I'm just making sure that the YouTube video is actually muted so that I don't hear it if I put my cans on. Tonight's supper. Anyways, whatever. I'm here now. So tonight was the last function of my term as the governing board chair for this year. And if I do not get acclaimed or voted chair next year, then I will not have to do anything like that. It was graduation for grade 6 at the school. For an elementary school, that school has a kick-ass steel pan band. Anyway, I'm all out of sorts. I came rushing down because I did get home just in time to come down here and get set up. But then there was a last-minute shopping trip, a grocery trip that had to be made for a thing tomorrow. So I did that. And while I was at the governing board, I guess they didn't have supper or they didn't make supper. So there's nothing. So I just bought this crappy little sandwich. Oh, welcome to the Bevies, Blades, and Bushcraft live stream where we have bevies. We usually have blades. We sometimes discuss bushcraft. Before we go any further, I just want to say that if you are watching us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next year, thank you for your eyes. Thank you for your thoughts. Thank you for the comments that appear down below the show notes. If at any point tonight you love what's happening, which is probably not happening right now, but I invite you to hit the smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you really kind of don't like what's happening, that's okay. The frowny thumb works just as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in keeping the lights on around here, I invite you to check out the join button right about there. Click on that, right click on that, open in another tab, and you'll see that there are 2 tiers of membership, as well as what each tier gets you for your hard-earned dollars or pounds or whatever you spend, kroner. So yeah, tonight's beverage de choix is Cowboy IPA Brut. Oh man, it's a 5.8. Why am I drinking this? I was in such a rush. I just grabbed whatever was in the fridge. So, you guys know me. UOG viewers will know that I do not like IPAs. And an IPA Brut, which is like a strong beer IPA, is probably going to piss me all the way off. But hey, whatever. We shall see what we shall see. Great. Nice one, Jess. I guess Serge is hanging out with us tonight. So otherwise, I would be making a pitch perfect pour. So I'll just let that sit there to calm down a little bit, and I'll take a bite of my sandwich. Okay. We'll see who's hanging out with us. First one in was Grace. How's it going, Grace? Nice to see you. Followed up by, hey, there's David Evans. Channel Hero and Channel Mod. So as I always say, be polite or boom with the hammer. We got. This is going to be awkward, right, with me eating? Because I didn't have lunch, so I don't know if I can make it till 11 if I don't. If it's really pissing you off, tell me, and I'll stop, and I'll suffer for the art. Country Boy, also a Channel Hero and Channel Mod. So also we'll drop the hammer if you're a great big jerk. Peanut Trucker popping in. Channel Mod. Jaunty Wave, where are you tonight, Chris? Grace, here first because I was almost last. I think I only started this thing at, I don't know, almost 9:21, I think. Everyone's saying hi. I love it. Bunch of moderators in here. Guess we're doing our jobs well. There's Christy, channel hero. How's it going? So it's still like 35 degrees out there. It was kind of a brutally hot day for Canada anyway. There's a heat dome thing happening apparently because I think in Toronto and around where Russell lives, it's also very hot. Excuse me. So today, sorry, I won, like it was like 33, 34, and then it was like 35, but with the Humidex, it was 37 degrees Celsius, whatever the hell that is in degrees Fahrenheit. I think like 40 is 100. Do I have that right? You guys who do the conversion all the time will tell me if I'm right or wrong. I'm so hungry that I'm not actually angry at this crappy ass sandwich. There's Mark Davidson. How's it going? Yes, I did have cheese. I had the cheese first, just in case you guys were grossed out by the eating. I would say that at least I had the cheese. Everyone saying hi. Hike with Mike in the house. Or, well, in Florida. Hike, how hot is it down there? Because it's like brutal here right now. But I don't know if that's just like a heat dome thing or if it's even hotter as you go further south. Camille today checked the weather in Port-au-Prince down in Haiti, and it was 30 there and 35 here. So it's crazy. But anyway, I mean, they have the ocean breeze, right? We don't. And I'm trying not to make chewing sounds right into the mic. And the thing about the heat in Montreal is that it's like a sticky, humid kind of, like your shirt sticks to your kind of thing. So it's just bleh. It sometimes gets pretty hot in Vancouver too, but like it's not a moist kind of heat. At least it's a dry heat. Shut up. It's still hot, but still. There's Ian. How you doing? Are you sweltering like me? I don't keep buying IPAs. That's all I'm going to say about that. Mike says, finally caught up editing videos. Been so busy the last few months. Nice. So can look forward to some Hike with Mike goodness on the interwebs, on the YouTubes. Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm just going to eat it. Destiny in the house. You probably didn't get a notification because I came running down late as hell, set this thing up, and went online. I'm just seeing who's everyone just started saying hi. Okay. Chris says, Emporia, Kansas, headed to Kristen's house, then San Diego. You going to meet up? That would be cool. If you meet up, I want to see photos. But I was going to say that seems like a really long haul, but I guess not. Like I always sort of imagine you in Florida. So when you say like San Diego, in my head, you're going all the way from Florida, but of course not. You're here and you're going there instead of like all over here and going there. Destiny says it's cool/cold in the prairies. I heard that. I mean, my fiddler lives in Calgary, and he said it's a lot cooler there than it is here. He was here this weekend for gigs. It's It's been wicked hot in Florida. You like the heat, but it's extreme right now. Yeah, if a Floridian is saying the heat's extreme, I would probably be melting on the sidewalk. I gotta be honest with you guys. This is not the best supper I've had in a long time. It's funny, Country Boy. You know, I told you that my dad lives in Penticton, and I called him, like I FaceTimed him yesterday or something, just as this heat dome thing was kicking up. I was like, "What are you talking about, man? We're wearing sweaters over here." Like, God, really? Because it was an egg salad sandwich. I grabbed whatever I knew was not going to be like a salmon salad sandwich while buying things as fast as I could. May have snowed somewhere up north in Alberta, and it's June. Crazy. Thing is, up north in Alberta, it's not the same thing as down here, right? Like northern Quebec. Well, actually, northern Quebec's even further north than northern Alberta. But I was going somewhere with that, and I lost it. It's gone. Mike, what I like about IPAs is the citrus element, because I love citrus. But it's the hoppy bitterness that I can't handle. Okay. I finished that so we can just ignore it. All right, we're back in business. So let's try this high octane IPA. Refreshing citrus, but it smells hoppy. Yep. Christy, yes, I remember that. In fact, he sent me a photo, or showed it in Discord or something. That doesn't mean I don't want another photo. The hell's up with you? What's your problem? Why you gotta be hating? Why are you hating, Christy? You got a problem with me wanting photos, photographic evidence that all my friends are meeting and I'm not there? So this is supposed to be a cupcake, I guess, but it looks as bad as it tastes. Okay. I've already seen the pic. Yeah, you can send it again, though. That's fine. Well, it's 32 in London, with it feels like 40. Yeah. Whichever office wall was facing the sun was warm in that area of the building today. I can well imagine. So, as I was saying earlier, when I was explaining part of the reason I was so late tonight, I was at the graduation ceremony for the grade 6 class at my kid's school. I have to be there because chair of the governing board, but that gym is not air conditioned. Okay. They had fans, but oof, man. And I was in long pants. I do believe Chris has just sent me that photo. Yeah. I shall now proceed to show it on the screen. Your actual name's not here? Okay, good. Focus. Look at them happy people. Look at all that. Look at that big truck. Look at that. I haven't said look at that on one of my videos in a long time, I don't think. I used to say it all the time. Granted, I haven't been putting much out. Oh, no time to meet up this time? That sucks. Oh yeah, Destiny, this supper, nope. This is not great. But there's no way I would be able to last until 11 because I didn't have lunch. Destiny is saying truth. IPAs never sound delish. No, I don't like IPAs. Some people love them. My dad loves IPA. Whenever I call him up, he's like, yeah, I'm having a beer. I said, what are you having? You're not going to like it. Mike says, if you can get some Stump Knucker beer from a Gainesville, Florida brewery. I can't remember the name, but they are awesome. Stump Knucker. Man, some of the brand names you guys have down there sounds like German, but Americanized. Like Stump Knucker, Smuckers, Orville Redenbacher. David says, we got the AC on for the first time this summer. Yeah, us too. We got it on, let me tell you. Because otherwise we would all be dying. Absolutely dying. How far behind am I? We're at 21:39. I'm actually holding my ground pretty well. Now that I've said that, I've jinxed it, right? I shall attempt to hey, there's Canadian. Oh, phew, I thought that was a spider the size of my palm, but it's just a mosquito. Not the size of my palm, but it was like, but yay. Where are we? Steve Ground's in the house. How's it going, Mr. Steve? How you doing? Hope you're not sweltering too bad. Oh, Jennifer as well. It's a good night now. It was a bit touch and go until I got online, but now I'm enjoying myself. And it's not stinking hot in this basement, in this troll cave of a basement. You stay over there and we're okay, buddy. Stupid bugs. Yeah, David, come on, dip the cupcake in the IPA. I had some cousins who lived in Point St. Charles here. Now, I mean, if you don't live in Montreal, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you do live here, you know that Point St. Charles used to be the Irish neighborhood. Well, it was Irish on one side of the CN tracks, and then all the Scottish were on the other side. So, of course, I had a lot of Irish cousins living down there. The neighborhood has changed a lot over the past 20 years, but it was like Irish and then Scottish. And in fact, where I lived when I was living there, I lived on this street called Island, and right next to the canal. And if I opened my front door, so Irish neighborhoods, so like the front door is directly on the sidewalk, right? There's no little yard or anything. His front door is directly on the sidewalk. I lived in a place that was a French colonial, so stairs coming down. I mean, I'm talking about Montreal classical architecture here, so it doesn't mean anything. But if I opened my front door, I could practically spit on the French Catholic Church that was fronting onto Center Street, right? So I could spit on the side of it, and it was huge. And right beside the French church, whatever the hell it was called, was the English church, equally large, St. Gabriel's church. And so that's kind of like the Point St. Charles landmark, is like the churches, right? The English church and the French church. And I lived right next to those. But anyways, the reason I'm saying this is because working class, right? Blue collar neighborhood, as all good Irish neighborhoods are. And one of my cousins, man, he would get like a McDonald's or Burger King, like a burger from somewhere, and a coffee, and he would just sit there and like he would dunk the burger in the coffee. And it's just like, I don't know about that. And he's like, hey, it's all the same once you chew it and swallow. I'm like, okay, but you don't have taste buds in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? But man, that's the way he used to do it. I'm like, nope. Nope. Country boy is with me on this one. Yeah, I shared. I done shared that picture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can well imagine. Hold on a second. Like as Mike says, so weird to me. In Florida, our schools are done in late May. It's so weird to see students still in school in June. Yeah, the youngest daughter has the rest of this week. She's in elementary. The eldest, I said the youngest is still right. But Cody, she's in exams week. Her last day of school technically was last Friday. She was only, which was a half day. Now, here's the thing. She was only there for 10 minutes that day because on the Wednesday, not the Wednesday night, the Wednesday, she got the mother of all concussions from a soccer ball. It was free gym for her class and for one of the French classes. And so her class was on one side of the gym, and she and her friends were playing with a frisbee. And on the other side, one of the French classes, some of the boys were playing soccer. And one of the boys made up for a lack of skill with an overabundance of force and just plowed the ball right into Camille's head, like eye, cheek, forehead. Just took her right out. Like she went blind for a second, and then like everything went kind of fuzzy and started moving. She stumbled. Balance was gone. You know, this whole thing, like fuzzy vision. So I left work and went to get her and take her to the hospital. We were there for a while, and then I took the next afternoon off to take care of her as well. And she's still dealing with headaches and nausea. But, you know, she's the type of girl who doesn't want to be wilting in bed all the time. So, and she was in high dudgeon over the fact that she was missing the last day of her first year of high school. So, like for the last 10 minutes, I sort of took her in so she could say, you know, have a good summer to her friends. She was so bored, she taught herself to crochet because she couldn't watch screens or anything, right? Why am I talking about this? Oh, yeah, because Mike is like, so weird to see them still in school. So, and there's that, you know. And today, this week, she's in exams. She did French today, and she'll be doing math tomorrow. No, math the day after tomorrow. And then it's summer. She's I have her in a video day camp, which she's done for the past several years. I mean, if she ends up in summer school, she will not be in video day camp. But you know, that's the high school magic, right? But I'm not too worried about that. She likes that day camp. It was weird to find a day camp that she actually liked. Canadian. All it would take is one non-deodorant wearer. What are we talking about? Did I say something that Canadian is? I mean, you're right, but I don't remember graduating in all the grades in school. No, and in fact, I only graduated from grade 11 because before going to the high school I finished from, I went to a school that went from kindergarten all the way through to grade 11. Right, so like I didn't do that elementary to high school graduation. So to me, it's a weird thing to have a graduation in grade 6 to go from elementary to high school. But whatever. That's just the way they do it. Destiny. Yeah, it's a great photo. I love it. Yeah. Yeah. I have met almost nobody that I know through YouTube. I met Russell. I met Dave. Same trip, which to me is a highly successful trip, because before that, I have physically met no one I know from YouTube. I was once at a gig, washing my hands in the can between sets, and a guy said, "Are you Jesse?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Are you Dribs and Drams?" I said, "Yes." And I don't know him through. This wasn't through YouTube, but through Instagram. He's a guy that I follow, and he follows me back, and he's got a great taste in whiskey. So aside from that, that's it. That's the full summation of the people who I've met in person, who I previously met through my through YouTube or like my online content. So I would love to meet Chris one day. It's too bad that his route never brings him north of the border. Thinking that I'm just looking at the time, and I think Jerry might be reacting to the dipping a cheeseburger in a coffee story, but I'm not sure. Stump knocker is a fish in the Florida swamps that knocks on the cypress trees in the swamps of Florida. Oh, an actual stump knocker. Why the hell does a fish knock on stumps? It's like, oh, there's a tree. Bop. Like, why? Why would it do that? Destiny saw a new hammock with a flat bed insert in it. Apparently it's all the rage now. I'll send a pic if I can find it again. I would love to see that. I would love to go camping in my hammock again. I did not love the hammock camping experience when I took it to Russell's, but that was my first time actually using it. So I'm glad I got to use it, because I had bought it like a full decade earlier. But I got to give it another chance, and I think I'm going to buy the 4-season like insulation that you can hang on it, like outside of it, because it definitely needs to be warmer. Because the stupid little insert that I bought, it's garbage. Country Boys asking Destiny if it was an Amok brand. Christy knows about these Amok as well. What the hell? Really? I've never even heard of this. But I must find out. If anyone can throw a link up in the side chat, I would be much obliged. And then I would take a look at it. And then if it's not too expensive, I will make a drunken purchase one night. Maybe if Russell's on the line. My grandfather was a major player in the Irish Rebellion in 1721. He was a colleague of Michael Collins, had to flee to the States after the rebellion. Fair enough. And considering what happened to Michael Collins, I'm glad to hear that he lived to flee. Both my grandfathers, the only real notability is that, you know, they were both in the war. One worked on a Lancaster, and the other was infantry. Interesting. The one my grandpa Aimé, the infantry one, he said that he actually lost more friends in the occupation of Germany after the fighting than during the actual like Normandy. And like, here's the thing. D-Day was hell on the Canadian Army, but they did get further inland and closer to their mark than any of the other troops did. And so I don't know. It's weird. He said that because when they were occupying Germany, a lot of troops were sort of getting taken out surreptitiously, by angry Germans who are like, "What are you doing in my city?" Which is funny considering that you've just been in other people's cities. But anyway, so that's all I wanted to say. Like, my grandfathers were both warriors, but that's about as interesting as they get. My father-in-law, it was discovered, was way more interesting than he ever let on while he was still alive. Like, he was a full-on revolutionary. He left Haiti because Duvalier was looking for him. But I'm not gonna that's not my story to tell. Family is everything. I always pray for my ancestors. Family is, I guess, family is everything. I envy people who can just say that. David, I hope Camille's okay. Well, yeah, she still ain't feeling great, but as I said, she's not the type to sort of lie there and feel bad for herself. So she had after her exam today, she had a friend come over, and they sort of went into the pool to cool down a bit and did some studying. I mean, she's got a mind of her own, that kid, but she's still a great kid. She's tough. I keep telling you guys. I mean, she's emotionally fragile, but man, she is physically tough. Like, I think on one of these live streams I told you about this one time when she was a lot younger, that she full on went backwards off the back of the couch, head first into the ground, and I just like full on, like, I looked over just in time to see like her feet go up in the air and disappear behind the couch. I'm like, ugh. And then this tiny hand, because I think she was like 7 or 8, going, "I'm okay." Okay, all right, okay. Like, if she hurts herself and she's crying, you're probably going to the hospital, because if she's not, like, she needs to really be hurting to cry from physical hurt. I mean, she's a whiny ass brat, but still. Just kidding. Concussions suck. I'd be smart if I hadn't played so many sports. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, when it's a concussion, you don't mess around, right? Hey, look who's here, homie. How's it going, homie? Did you buy anything recently? I almost bought something. I saw a GoPro Hero 11 Black, like with a little kit for $350 at Costco. I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, no. A, I just got killed on my taxes. B, I do have bills to pay for. C, if I'm going to throw that kind of money around, there are other things that I need more than another GoPro. Though I would, in my head, I have this 2 GoPro setup. That's why, right? And I would love to, excuse me. I would love to set this up so that I have a camera pointed directly down at my desk or something, so that, like, whenever I want to show you guys something, like, remember when I was drawing drawing measurements, I was like drawing and trying to hold it up and getting it all ass backwards and everything. It'd be nice to just be able to swing a camera out over my desk, draw something on the desktop, and like just switch cameras, Heck with Mike says, had a concussion as a child, impacted my vision, had to wear glasses ever since my concussion. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. If you don't know what the long-term effects are going to be, right? I mean, we're trying to take care of this thing so that she doesn't end up like having a problem with headaches out into the future, kind of thing. Oh, Mike got recognized. That's cool. I was in line at Dollar General, which I guess is the same thing as our Dollarama, common store in the States, yeah. And I was talking to the cashier, and the customer behind me recognized my voice and asked if I was Hike with Mike. That is cool. I like that. Peanut Trucker says I should pick a place in the U.S. to visit, and we can all meet up somewhere that I can afford to get to, and that has beautiful scenery. Not too hot. Christian Grand says John from Lost Lakes uses them all the time. Now you said that at 9:51, and it's now 9:58. So are you talking about GoPros, or did I mention something else? No, I think that right before the GoPro, I was talking about concussions, right? Yeah. The thing is, I have a Hero 9 that David bought for me. I have this idea of having like 2 GoPros so that I can catch different angles of the same thing, like especially for like my product reviews, right? Like 2 GoPros set up, looking at the item from chocolate from the muffin. Sorry, folks. You know, from different angles. Cocktail videos, like one here of you shooting me, and one much closer looking just at the glass. I've done that for some cocktail videos, like when I've been doing them in my kitchen. I've been using like this and my old version of this, like 2 camera setup. But what I love about the GoPro is the small size. I love being able to say, GoPro, start recording. Can't do that with this thing. And I love this camera. I want 2 of these for a reason, but you can't do that with this, right? This is an old school camera in many, many ways. It's a DSLR. There's a whole different philosophy to DSLR design than there is to like GoPro design, or these guys here, right? Oops. Oh, piss on a biscuit. Will you please just behave? There you go. But yeah, like if I'm going to throw a 3,500 at something, it's going to be. See, I'm trying to talk myself down, but like the idea of the 2 GoPro setup is compelling to me. But like the installation kit for my Hennessy hammock, it's like $170, right? That's half of that's. So instead of spending $350 on another camera, there's a use case that there's a use case for the second GoPro too. Stop talking about this, Jess. You're just going to end up buying something. Don't buy anything. Let's go back to this for a second. If sometime in the next couple of years I could pick a place to go in the States, we could all meet up. When we say meet up, do we mean like at a brew pub, or do we mean at a campsite? Why don't we make this a question or a poll or whatever the hell you call it? Let me see if I can. Oh, for land's sakes, I don't feel like I'm doing a very good job of this live stream tonight, guys. Sorry. And I have no idea if I'll be able to get anywhere anytime soon. But if Jesse could get to meet up in the U.S., should it be at a campsite or a brew pub, or ellipsis question mark? Add option other, comment in chat. And ready? I say boom. No, that didn't work. Because my stupid Grammarly blah blah is in the way. Get out of my way, Grammarly thing, human stuff. Okay. Yes? No. Must contain between 1 and... I'm trying to make this work here, peeps, but it just ain't. There we go. Boom. And then take that option away. And then do start poll. Anyways, that's my poll position. Oh, Christy, or are you talking about those hammock hammocks? Hammock hammocks? Amok hammocks? You know what? Excuse me for 1 second, peeps. It was a mosquito. I can't let a mosquito live any more than I can let a wasp live. Everything else is okay. Huge spider, stay over there and we're okay. Otherwise, I'm getting a cup and a paper and throwing you outside. Jesse says, the hammock I saw had a. Well, the hammock I have has a. But are we talking about the same thing? Are you being mysterious on purpose, Destiny? The hammock I saw had a. Yeah. And it's really cool when a hammock has a. I mean, you spend a lot of money on a hammock that doesn't have a. But why would you do that when you can spend the same amount of money on one that has a? I'm stopping now. Because what? I want you to meet in Vegas. I hate Vegas. I love everything around Vegas, though. Like Red Rock Canyon and all that stuff. Everything around Vegas is amazing. The city could implode tomorrow and I wouldn't give a crap. Oh, thank you. Country Boy has put the link to Amok. I am about to right click and open it in a new tab so that I don't. My location is set to Canada. Shop in US dollars. Okay. Story of my life. Oh, whoa, that's weird looking. So you sleep across. What? Jesus, hell, 275 US dollars. The Drommer 5.0 hammock comes in 2 lengths that share all the same features. Choose standard length if you're up to 180 centimeters. Choose XL if you're over 180. I am not over 180 centimeters. I am 169. Technical spectacles. No, it's technical specs. So it's a ripstop. Got a bug net, but does it have, like, for that kind of money, includes hammock, bug net, tree straps, and stuff sack. No. For that money, no. No way. Hold on. I'm gonna present the page. I'm gonna share the screen. For essentially 312 Canadian dollars, I want a rainfly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't they include a rainfly for that kind of money? 180 kilograms max weight. That's pretty good. It's weird looking though. Okay, there you are with the bug net. It's weird because, like, you're like this, right? You know, rather than like this. You're why would they do it that way? I'd be afraid of, like, boop 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 boop. So weird. It looks comfy though. I will tell you that. That does look like a comfy hammock. Okay, so that's without the padded chair inside. That's with the padded chair inside. I can't, I'm a big lover of blue, but I think this is a more of a bushcrafted color, more of a bushcrafter. Yeah, and I don't like the red. If they had an orange, I'd be like all over that, like a fat kid on a chocolate bar. It's a terrible thing to say, but I've already said it, so I can't get it back. So is that like the only model they have? No, there's also something called the Segel. Shop now. Let me see, please. Okay, so that's just like your kicking around hammock. I've already got one of those. Light green or green? The red is probably the same lousy red. Yeah, shut up. Woo, now that is a cheerful yellow. That is festive, man. But no. So so there's the drummer, the Draume. I wonder where these guys are based. I wonder where these guys are based. Ooh, double hammock. One person Draume. Sleeping pads. I can win $100 gift card. I just want to know where you're based. Contact us. Oh, no. Hammock Equipment AS. I'm getting an absolutely European vibe here. Here at Hammock, our goal is to have the most welcoming and helpful customer service in the outdoor field. No, I want to know where you are. I want to know where you are. Where are you? Please. Our story. Hammock Equipment was started by, Norwegian outdoor engineers. Exploring natures, and that's why the names are like this, and everyone's pretty stupid Norwegians being all pretty and shit. Cool. That really does look weird because for me it's about the balance, like that weird sort of your ridge line, essentially your line is this way and you're sort of sleeping. Like I would be afraid of like falling asleep and then waking up head on the floor. Yeah, that worked, Country Boy. It worked because you're a mod, so you can post links and they don't get refused. The hammock I saw had a kind of a roof on it, like the Haven hammocks. Well, I think like they sell tarps as well, right? Like, hold on. I guess I was a little too fast on stopping the screen Ash. Share the screen Ash. Okay, so like they have tarps. Okay, so there's the Holt 10, right? So, Jesus, 154 US. Oh, I mean my Hennessy weren't cheap. Okay, that thing weren't cheap, but this. So how much is the 10 Ultra Light? Come on, fool. Yeah, so it's gonna be like $212 Canadian. That's a lot of money. I mean, no, that's a lot of money for someone who's already got a hammock, right? I have a hammock, and mine was whatever it was, like $219 or some damn thing. I think maybe mine was more than that. It was like $189 US when I bought it, so it came out to like $219 Canadian or something like that. And tea's a good drink. Why am I drinking tea? I'm gonna show you why I'm drinking tea. Boom, baby. Finished that beer. Hey, where the hell's at 9:54? David Evans got buffering. Did anyone else get buffering? Hike with Mike. I always make it a point to not ask a veteran about their experience in war. Yeah, I get that. I think the First and Second World Wars are so historical, so seminal, that every oldster who passes on without telling his story is a bit of a tragedy. I mean, like the legacy of the Second World War is world order changing. The legacy of, say, Vietnam is that in the States, and to a certain extent kind of in Canada as well, it ended the whole officer and a gentleman thing, right? It ended the idea of the Army or the Marine Corps as being like a gentlemanly career. I mean, nowadays we make up for that by calling them, everyone in a uniform a hero, to sort of try and bring that back. But like after Vietnam, I mean, you ended up with a whole different class of people opting for a military life. And I say that as someone with, a fair amount of military in my family. But it's never going to go back to, the Napoleonic era where, being a lieutenant was a high status job. Being an officer and a gentleman was like a high, a high status kind of one step below nobility kind of thing. So now we just call them heroes to make up for it, I guess. They're just people, right? They're just people. And some of them are very decent people and some of them are not. And I feel that we, more than we ever have, we sort of don't see past the uniform. But yeah, I don't tend to ask people about their experiences more because I know veterans who have been in the modern wars. And these wars are, definitely chewing up our troops mentally. I mean, you guys know I have a brother who is now a former commando. So I mean, anyway, whatever. Country boy, they all come with flies as far as I know. Well, that's what I thought too, country boy, but this one isn't. It comes with a bug net, which by the way is also very required. I mean, mine comes with a bug net as well, but it's weird that anyway. Yeah, a lot of guys who've been through these events don't talk about them because they're still sort of, well, not a lot of them around anymore, but didn't because they were still sort of either suffering or there's this whole thing I heard on a podcast on Dan Snow's History Hit about there was this whole secret citizen resistance organized by the British Ministry of Defense in the Second World War. And the vast majority of these people died without ever even having admitted to have been part of the organization. I mean, which is impressive, but like a veteran's stories are personal to the veteran, yes, but they can also bring nuance to our view of X war, Y war, Z war. And so you're kind of like, if he's not going to talk about it, you can't force him to talk about it because you don't want to make this poor guy or woman relive these memories. But it's kind of too bad that we lose that little chunk of history, No, Las Vegas would not be great. Chris, why are you saying that? Las Vegas is a dirtbag disguised as a city. Hey, brother love. Brother love, I don't want to interrupt, but am I the only one with a new YouTube format? I cannot find the usual input options, thumbs up and all that. I don't know what you're viewing this from. If you're on mobile, then there is a way to get all that, but I can never figure it out. Here's the thing. YouTube does try out new formats, new options, new stuff on like seemingly random users. Like they'll just boop. Some I'm okay. The reason I'm showing my screen is to show you what YouTube looks like to me right now. Okay. I don't know why there's a personalized moon lamp there. I don't know what that's for. But like, so here's what I got. Okay. I believe this is not any different, right? There's my thumbs up. It says 0 right now. It's because I have to reload. Okay. And now it's just gone to, oh, who's getting an advert? I'm going to skip this. So, right, there's the share, there's the thumbs ups, thumbs down, analytics. So this is what it looks like for me. I don't know what it looks like for you, but it would not surprise me if you had some sort of a new interface, because they do that sometimes. They try it out with random people. One thing I would love to get is that some YouTubers, it used to be just like the really big ones, but now some people with as few as like 1,000 subs have an A/B feature for their thumbnails. So you can like upload 2 different thumbnails, and 50% of your audience will get one, 50% will get the other. And whichever percent interacts more with your video, it's like, okay, that's the thumbnail you want. Amazing. Invaluable. I don't have it yet. How many thumbs up are there? So there are 20 people watching, which is great. And I have 18 thumbs ups. So some of you are breaking my heart, but not all of you. When Christy last checked, it was 15. So I guess we're doing better than I thought. Or Country Boy reminded everyone to go and hit that thumbs up. Niagara Falls, New York, close to U.S.-Canadian border, would be a good meetup place. Yes. And I've never been to the U.S. side of Niagara Falls. The Canadian side is a prostitute with a clown nose. Like it's given up everything to be a tourist trap. Oh, so Niagara Falls on the Canadian side is where my family and I went to International House of Pancakes for the first time, and I will never go back to IHOP. The service was fine, whatever, but the food was terrible. The only person who got something good was Camille. And even then it wasn't good. It's just she is the queen of food. You know, she's a lot more easygoing about food than most people are. Russell's like, dude, my GoPro just started recording. Was that because of me? Did I do that? GoPro, start recording. David, GoPro, stop recording. Did that help, Russell? I love it. Destiny, my dad was in the war. I never mentioned he was at Monte Cassino and received the second highest Medal of Courage. He was barely 20 years old. Yeah, that's the thing. These guys were kids, man. They were kids doing things that most of us would never even think of. David says, I think we should meet up in Chipley, Florida. I'm not going all that far. All that far? That's not a real phrase, is it? I'm not going all that way. Chris says, I got plenty of room. Destiny says, I suggested to City Girl that she mark Jess's campsite at Raspberry Rock like a pile of quartz rocks or something. Why? Hike with Mike says, yes, most vets, though they were heroes, they don't like to talk about it, in my opinion. Well, yeah, it's because, you know, there's PTSD happening with a lot of these guys that they don't even talk about, right? Chipley Falls in Florida. I've never even heard of Chipley Falls. Yes, the waterfall is still going. Does the waterfall turn off at some points? Country Boy says, the guys I watched that use them love them. Are you talking about the GoPros? Were you back to the GoPros? I think the GoPro is a brilliant device. You know, whenever a new GoPro comes out, I'm like, and then I don't buy it. You put a tarp over it right now. You can also sit up in it. Oh, I see. Okay, that's 10:07 and we're at 22:22. So I'm just getting further and further behind. Yeah. As I am a fat kid, I can confer with half-assed I'd be on a chocolate bar. Fair enough. I'm surprised with the drought in Florida. Everything is all dried up. No water in my swamps. No water in your swamps, man. That's a drought. Destiny is asking what the swamps are made of. Like, are they sand on the bottom? I had never even thought to ask such a question, Destiny. I just thought that swamps would, like, by default be kind of mud at the bottom. David Evans, I wish I'd studied outdoor engineering. Would have specialized in outhouse design. I think that it's never too late for a new career, Dave. So let me know how that turns out for you. Our pond is going down after the record rain we've had in previous years, says Chris. Christy did not get any buffering, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Don't know what's going on. Country Boy says, watch a couple of Lost Lakes vids on YouTube. Him and his wife use Amox. Oh, I see. Okay. I've seen something by them at some point. Probably because somebody here mentioned them in the past. Yeah, sand is the base of our soil. That does not surprise me. I go with Mike. I think vets can talk about their experiences with another vet, but not with someone who does not have the shared experience, in my opinion. I saw a video once of 2 vets, one from the Second World War and one from Afghanistan or Iraq or something. They were both British. And so they put these guys, they sat them right across from each other. And the younger guy started talking about his experiences and couldn't quite move on. And the older guy said, you know, you've seen some stuff, haven't you, son? And the younger guy says, yes, sir, I have. And it's like he was about to break down kind of thing. And I think the compassion in that older man's comment, because that generation didn't talk about their pain. They didn't talk about their PTSD, right? They didn't talk about anything that could be equated with weakness. And by the way, we're still like that today, boys. Let's admit it, but not to that extent, right? Anyways, I just thought it was a cool video because, I mean, these guys are both vets. They both went to war. The older man obviously had been in a massive world-changing war, and the younger one had been in what at that point was, I mean, there was no Ukrainian war at that point, so he was in the closest thing that, I was going to say our generation, but I'm older than this kid was. But whatever, the generations below my, you know, the boomers or the lost generation will ever at that point have seen. It was just interesting to see these two guys who had that in common, even though there were different wars, there were different centuries, actually. Anyway, whatever. It was a cool vid. A sad vid, though. Like, a sad vid. We send our youngsters off and get them all chewed up physically and emotionally, you know. It's like, how we haven't developed past this yet. Grace. Grace knows my heart, man. Just would enjoy a U.S. meetup in Bardstown, Kentucky, in the heart of bourbon country. There's a bunch of Texas distilleries I'd like to I'd like to investigate as well. But yeah, Bardstown, Kentucky would work. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford to get down there, but it would be cool. Heck with Mike says, I do not like chain restaurants. I like mom and pop places. Ooh, right. I started a, hold on, end poll. I may as well end the poll. So what does it say? Where did my poll go? Brewpub was 13%. Campsite was 60%. And other comment is, we're kind of talking about it now. I mean, Grace saying, hey, Grace, is there good camping down there? Because I would like to camp wherever I go. I make it sound like we're planning this, but in the event where I could do like a US meetup, I would like there to be good camping nearby so I can do some hiking and stuff while I'm down there, not just sitting there in a whiskey place. David says that Junebug left a paw where Jess was camping. I'll tell you something. Those dogs would not leave me alone. They were like hanging with me the whole time. So I think you're probably right. Country Boy says, I've developed a taste for bourbon. Might have to get a third job to afford the flight from the West Coast, but Kentucky sounds fun. By the way, there's some very good whiskey being made on that coast in Canada. Country Boy. Very good juice. There's Sons of Vancouver. They're a little too artisanal for me. Like they experiment with flavors which I like, but they kind of go a little further than I like. I think I just broke the seal here, people. But on Vancouver Island, there's Shelter Point. Their juice is fabulous. Up in the Yukon, there's two brewers, also very good whiskey makers. Very bloody good. Destiny says, we need a video when the boys have their meetup. Of course. Come on. Peanut Sugar tells Grace to find a campground close by. I can also use my truck as a camper. Yeah, you can camp anywhere. You can sleep anywhere. Nobody's gonna be messing around with something that size. Am I right? Christy says there are great sites in Kentucky for RV camping. I don't have an RV. Well, I got a tent. And I have a hammock. Did you guys know I have a camping hammock? Did I mention that? Destiny, I'll take the video of Jess in his hammock after the bourbon tasting. Yes, camping and cooking over an open fire and maybe some drinking. Flying to Louisville. Louisville? Am I pronouncing that right? Is it Louisville? We'll pick you up. One yawn. I know. I think I broke the seal. I'm trying not to do it again. Oh, no. Great. It's okay. We're at 10:30, so we're only here for another half hour. Louisville. Okay. Louisville. So I was adding, what was I saying? Louisville? But it's just Louisville. Destiny. Numéro 4. What the hell is 606? Oh. 506. Got it. Got it. Fair enough. Since that last live stream we did, oh no. No, it's because now I'm thinking about yawning, so it's making me yawn. Since our last live stream, I keep thinking about getting a flat ground Groman number 4. I blame you people. I haven't done it. Excuse me. I got way too much to spend money on. Some of it is boring and quasi-medical, so. It's not Louisville, says Grace. It's Louisville. I pronounced it correctly. So that's Louisville, Kentucky. Destiny says, okay, how do you correctly say Appalachian? Well, I believe it's Appalachian. I did grow up saying Appalachian. Thing is, up in Quebec, it's Appalache, right? I mean, because, we call it les Appalaches here. I just totally blew the spelling on that. Because, like, if you look at a MAPE, hold on, I'm trying to bring up a map. Now I'm trying to find where. Okay. Again, I believe that the locals say Appalachia. Now here's the thing. I live in this portion of the Appalachians, right? And up here it's called Appalach, or like even in English, I think we call it Appalach. Like I wonder what they call it up there. Yeah, it's hard to say. But I do believe that people in certain parts of the U.S. call them Appalachian. Oh, I forgot to stop sharing. Is this screen? I shall not stop the screen. Oh, hey, look who's here. Wait, hold on. Boom. Beto's here. How's it going, Beto? David says knife buying. I'm in. Not tonight. Way too much to spend money on right now. Peanut Trucker needs a pocket knife. I still want the Nesmik pocket knife, like the one for the Nesmik trio. Where's my Nesmik book? That's Kephart. Nesmik. Camping and Woodcraft by Nesmik. Hatchet by Paulson. No, seriously, where's my... What? But you know, like that little, what's it called, a canoe knife or whatever? Blade on one side, blade on the other side. A little pocket knife. I'm still looking for one of those. I mean, passively looking, right? I'm not like dying to spend money on a new knife. Though there are a few I would totally spend money on if I could right now. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that Louisville are both acceptable, but never Louisville. Got it. So is the Appalachian pronunciation more of a British-inspired pronunciation or just wrong? It's not wrong. I mean, some Americans call it Appalachian as well. And if you're north of the border, it's never Appalachian, right? Chris says, we can all meet up at Destiny's / David's new hunting cabin housewarming party. But that, yeah, I would do that. It'd be a lot more affordable for me to get there. Grace says, I'm seeing 4 campgrounds in Bardstown on Google. Never been to them, but reviews look good. Okay. Just as long as they're there. Yeah, exactly. While Ray's installing the solar. That's how I learned it. Third syllable. I don't think it's necessarily wrong to say Appalachian. I mean, a lot of people do. Third syllable lay, yeah. Because the thing is, the Appalachian Highlands / uplands it's long, right? It goes from down there, like, what's that, halfway through the state? No, it's not quite, but you know, all the way up through to Newfoundland. And I can guarantee you up here, we don't call it Appalachian. David is losing hope that Destiny will buy the property. Well, she's looking for what she wants. Coach Boy says, I'd love to meet Ray, but I don't think I'd get close to him if Destiny is there. I think you're probably right. Brother Love is really wanting a yakut. There's an apprentice blacksmith near me that I've been trying to convince to get into more refined cutlery. I don't have a yakut. Just taking a look. Hike Mike says Alabama to Newfoundland is the Appalachians. Yeah. Alabama. Okay. So that goes further south than I thought. Water's a good drink. It's funny because like a lot of the stuff we excuse me, we think of as like creepy Appalachian stuff. It's pretty localized. Like, is that all like Alabama? You know, they're like, we don't go in the forest at night because we know better. Like, oh, David Evans sent me the new knife today. It should be there on Friday. When it arrives, I will take a picture, or maybe you shoot a video if life doesn't get in the way. Little Canoe Hound Adventures logo there. David, I'll let you know when it arrives, and I'll send you a thank you note over texto because my handwriting is garbage. Oh, we're at like 20 to 11. It seems like it went so fast tonight, he said after starting 21 minutes late. Stereotypes by Hollywood folks. By Hollywood. Folks in those areas are good folk. Excuse me. There was something I wanted to mention to you guys, but I went and forgot it. Because by the time I came online, I was stressed and rushing. What the hell was that going to be? Was it going to be about knives? Cameras? Drones? So many things to buy, so little time and money. Destiny says, so is northern Quebec heavily forested? Northern Quebec is tundra, and then it's taiga, and then there's the boreal forest, which is the best, and then there's the mixed mixed broadleaf that Quebec, that Montreal is in. But yeah, it's heavily forested. Absolutely. Forest and lakes and rivers. Oh my. What? Why are you asking, Destiny? Where we like to go camping up in the Saguenay. We haven't gone in a couple of years, but we used to. Gorgeous forest. Nothing smells like the boreal, you know. But yeah, northern Quebec, like full on northern, like northern Quebec. You know, like how in Ontario, northern Ontario starts really far south. It's like you leave Toronto and you're in like northern Ontario, practically. It's not the same for Quebec. So if you say like northern Quebec, it's like tundra and taiga, and then like boreal. Once you get down into sort of the mixed broadleaf and all that, like where Montreal is straight up southern Quebec. You know, I'd say we're about 9-hour drive from. I'm questioning my reason for saying that all of a sudden. Like, I know that northern Ontario starts way too far south, right? But let me look up northern Quebec, because like there's Nouveau Quebec, right, which is just a whole section, and there's Nunavik, which is in the north as well. But hold on, what really constitutes northern Quebec? Yeah, okay, so it does start further north than northern Ontario does. But hold on, I will share this screen. I mean, this is boring to most people, but you did ask. Okay, so it's not my fault. It's yours. So here's northern Quebec. Can you guys see this? Am I making? Yeah. Okay. So Nunavik is up here, right? That's straight up tundra, right? That's permafrost. That's North Pole is right about. Well, it's north of this, but you know, because here's Labrador. Oh, I'm trying to scroll. Why? So northern Quebec comes down to here. It's funny that northern Quebec comes down like this. But anyways, That's the northern Quebec region. I don't know why this isn't northern Quebec here. Are you? No, you guys don't see my mouse, right? I'm like pointing stuff out, and you're not seeing the mouse, are you? Anyway. But like, so for most of northern Quebec, it's like taiga and tundra and stuff like that. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I see. Destiny saying it's next on the vacation location. If you're gonna come here and you want to do some really good camping, check out the SIPAC at the Fjord du Saguenay. It's up in the Saguenay. Just find a SIPAC in Saguenay. You can do whale watching, you can do hiking, you can whatever. I mean, you can do the same things at many campsites, but it's a really nice countryside up there. David Evans says Northern Ontario does not start until Sault Ste. Marie. Now, hike with Mike. We're not going to get political here. Best forest in the world is the Green Swamp, in my opinion. It is my home. Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, I think everyone is going to feel that where they feel at home is the best in the world. Yeah, this is why so many people think that they live in the best country in the world, even though it's only true of Canadians. As long as you aren't Burt Reynolds, wait. Just being a brat, guys. As long as you aren't Burt Reynolds, John Voight, or Ned Beatty, the Appalachians should be safe. Yeah. Destiny says to Mike, so do the swamps get tides that feed the water into them, and then there's a time of drought when there's no tide, or is the water more still standing, if you know what I mean? The freshwater swamps are not tidal. It is groundwater sources. So what's a fen? Like, what are the fens? Like, I know what the difference is between like a marsh and a swamp, but like, what's a fen? Oh, it's a peat accumulating wetland fed by mineral-rich ground or surface water. Okay. It is one of the main types of wetlands, along with marshes, swamps, and bogs. Bogs and fens, both peat-forming ecosystems, are also known as mires. Okay. I learned something new today, and any day I go to bed less stupid than I woke up is a good day. Excuse me. I think, Mike, that those of us who don't live in Florida just have this image of the whole place being like washed with salt water every, 20 seconds as another storm rushes in and blows ocean all over the place. Like what Mike says. I walk amongst lots of fens. Destiny's asking about quicksand. This conversation is going off the rails in the best way possible. I'm loving this. How does quicksand work? I shall now search Wikipedia. Quicksand is also known as sinking sand. I have never heard it called sinking sand. It's a colloid consisting of fine granular materials such as sand, silt, or clay, and water. It forms in saturated loose sand when the sand is suddenly agitated. When water in the sand cannot escape, it creates a liquefied soil that loses strength and cannot support weight. It can form in standing water or in upward flowing water. Oh, it's from an artesian spring. Interesting. I would not want to go that way. That is not the way I want to go. Peanut Tucker says, only rains around 2 p.m. every day, not every 20 seconds. Good to know. I got Mike says, I was caught in quicksand in Alaska. Scary situation. Wow. Really? How'd you get out of that? Destiny's asking about Venice next. Venice is sinking, Oh, and Christy says, after that, we can talk about Atlantis. We're coming up to the end of the show here, guys. I'm looking for stuff to. I still got tea. Destiny was in Venice in 1980. Yes, it must have changed because, as I said, the city is sinking and no one's doing anything about it because nobody wants to lose the next election. And the fact is it will cost billions of euro to save that city. So in the meantime, they're just letting it go. Bunch of idiots. I go with Mike says, I don't want to go to bed. Keep the show going. Are you kidding? I have to be at the office tomorrow. I should probably buy some lottery tickets so I can, dream a little. Dream a little dream. Stop it. I go with Mike. What time do you have to get up? Actually, you're probably on vacation. You're probably on summer vacation, aren't you? Or am I wrong? I for some reason I thought you worked in education in some way. Excuse me. What are we up to now? 6? 7? 6. Excuse me. 21 people are still watching this. Oh, okay. Brother Love's got to go study. Have a good night, folks. Well, study well. Good luck with, I don't know if you got exams or what, brother. I never really asked you. I didn't know you were still a student. But yeah, have a good night. Vacation, but it's really not a vacation. Right. True. David's off as well, meeting his sister for lunch tomorrow in beautiful downtown Perth. All right. Good night, David. Everyone say good night to David. One of these days we'll get together and buy knives. Watch me get like a bonus from work at some point. Like, David, let's spend some money. Oh, you're becoming an arborist. That's cool. I like it. Well, let me know how the... I'm guessing that you're studying for an exam at this point. So let me know how it went. Yeah, that's true, Chris. Of course we're watching. We only get together once a week. That's true. That's true. And I missed Books Fest because I was gigging on Friday and Saturday, but so that's too bad. There's a spot just outside of Merritt, Aspen Grove, where there's an artesian well with a small patch of quicksand. Not big enough to swallow anyone, but it was really cool to see as a kid. Oh, interesting. I've never seen quicksand, like in real life. I mean, I've seen The Princess Bride, but that wasn't even quicksand, was it? Yes, it was. How good Mike says, what is the difference between an arborist and a barber? I don't know, Mike. What is the difference between an arborist and a barber? I feel like I'm stepping into the world's worst dad joke. Excuse me. Still waiting on Mike's reply. Yeah, 7? We're at 7? Okay, good to know. Good to know someone's keeping track because I've lost track. Like a runaway train, I've lost my track. Stupidness. Just adjusting my socks here. Somehow they all ended up rolled up. I'm with Country Boy on this. Yes, barber cuts hair. I'm a dog. Yeah, but what's the answer? What is the difference between an arborist and a barber? We've been getting quotes from arborists. We need a couple of trees taken down. It's expensive to get a tree taken down, let me tell you. I would tell you that for free, but I need the money. He'll tell us next Tuesday. I wonder what it's like to, to like, that's your career. Like, you spend all day working in trees and stuff. That's not a good answer, Christy. I thought he was telling a joke. You know what I'm saying? A joke. I'm getting pretty tired here, peeps. I know it's only like... Destiny says, no kidding, our invasive tree cost $500 and it wasn't that tall, stump grinding included. I would take that in a Montreal minute. We've been quoted $3,000 for 2 trees. And that's our median quote. I'd spend $500 in a Montreal minute per tree. That grammatically should, or sentence structure wise, that should have been, I would spend $500 per tree in a Montreal minute. Sorry. Oh. Guys, there's like 6 minutes left, but I'm gonna be yawning and getting more boring. So I'm gonna shut her down here. I hope to see you all next week. I hope to be on time next week. So between now and that next show, everybody please be safe, stay sane, stay healthy, and be kind to one another. Good night.